Hi guys, I just left my 5-month appointment with my surgeon and I am pretty excited. I can't believe it's been 5 months already, and I had a good visit with my doctor. I actually lost weight this week and he says that I'm looking really good. I had a few questions, so we talked about, I've been seeing a lot of videos where people develop gallstones after surgery, so I talked about that, and he mentioned that they usually put their clients on a prescription after surgery. We also talked about alcohol intake. They wanted to make sure that I could restrict my use of alcohol after surgery because of the high alcoholism rate, I guess. We talked about the hospital stay. He mentioned that his average stay is about 1.5 days, so he wants to just make sure that everything looks good prior to leaving the hospital. I don't know, there was something so different about this appointment because it's just this much closer to becoming a reality, and I'm just excited. I can't wait to just start over again and have an opportunity to really just enjoy and feel comfortable and happy in my own skin. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna continue on the Ventramine prescription that I was given last month because I actually lost weight this month, and I'm going to be starting taking probiotics and some laxatives because I have increased my intake in protein and it's really doing a number on me. I'm not as regular as I used to be, so we're gonna start doing that, and I'm gonna continue with the water and just hoping that everything goes smoothly. I just have one more month, so my next appointment is going to be April 21st, and they'll be submitting then. Also, I'm probably, when I get home tonight, I'm going to get back on YouTube because I received a copy of my psychological evaluation, and I know for most people they usually go with a psychologist that is connected with their bariatric provider, but I already have a psychologist that I see regularly for a little over a year now, and I asked if I could go with her and have her submit my paperwork, just because I feel that I've already talked to her so much about, she knows me, she knows what I've been through, she knows my struggles, my triggers, and I felt that she would be able to give a more thorough picture of me, I guess I would say. I know I haven't done much about introducing myself to you guys about what I do, but I am actually a psychiatric social worker, and I do emergency response in the community when people are having psychiatric emergencies, and I work along, together with law enforcement. So they recommend that we have ongoing therapy just because of all the things that we deal with on a regular basis. And so I have my provider. So I'm curious to see what my psychologist wrote about me and how she feels I will do. Just because I'm also a therapist, and I think it's different when you read about yourself versus when I'm reading about another client and their story. I don't know, I think that's all I have to say about this appointment. My surgeon is Dr. Stephen Chang at Monterey County Surgical Associates, and my surgery is actually going to be at Community Hospital of Monterey Peninsula. And I don't know, it's just getting so much closer, and I can't believe this is actually gonna happen. It's always been on the back of my mind that I want to do it, and I kept trying, and it just never worked out for me. So just some history about my weight struggles, I guess, or weight loss attempts. I didn't have any weight issues growing up, or even up to college, I believe. And then once I started college, I didn't gain the freshman 15, I gained the freshman 50 probably, and it just kept going up from there. I was going through a very dysfunctional relationship, and my self-esteem was going down, and I can't blame it completely on him or on that, because I could have probably used better coping skills, but it was just a bad relationship. And I guess in a way for me to hide and not get attention from people, I was comfortable with gaining a little weight. At first I was a little excited about it, because I used to, people thought I was too skinny, and but it didn't stop when I got to a better weight. It just kept going higher and higher, and eventually when I graduated 4 years later, I had gained 100 pounds just in graduate school, in college. And then through graduate school, I couldn't drop it. And then finally, and throughout this entire time, I had been on Weight Watchers. I had on and off on Weight Watchers. I'm like one of those people that are just, I would lose a couple pounds, and then I would plateau, and then I would get so frustrated that I just wanted to quit. I couldn't keep doing it. I just would get frustrated, and I would stop, and then I would gain it all back and go back again. And finally, my last year of graduate school, I joined Lindora, and that was a program that I lost the most weight. I lost about 50 pounds there, and I felt good. I started being more active, and I love the outdoors. I love hiking, I love bike riding, I just love being outdoors. And when I lost that weight, I started bike riding a lot, and I don't know what happened. I think the video turned off, but I was saying that when I had lost that weight, I started being a little more active. And one of my NSVs, I guess I don't know, I feel like it might be a little bit too early to go there, but I want to get back on my bike, and I want to just enjoy like feeling that cold breeze on my face, and I really want to get on that bike. But right now, every time I try, it's just so uncomfortable. Like, if for anyone that's ridden one of those road bikes, you know that the seat is like this big, and I don't know, I just see it there, and I know that I want to get back. I'm not a very athletic person, however, those kind of things I like to do. So all this to say, when I had lost the weight the last time, I was training, and I was doing I was part of a fundraiser, the AIDS Life Cycle, and I raised some money, and I rode my bike from San Francisco to LA and all the funds that I raised were to provide services to people that are newly diagnosed and for treatment. But now I think back, and I'm like, how did I ever do that? Like, I don't know, like, I know it's excuses, but now I don't have the energy. It's the weight. I don't have the energy to do it. So I want to, I'm not gonna do something that big, but just like an hour ride, or go hiking again, do something that is good for me. I feel so heavy that my bones hurt, but I think that's a lot of, anyway. I'm just excited, so I'll keep you updated. I know I said I was going to do some stats, but I haven't been home, and I thought the light was awesome. Today we have a lot of sunlight here on the peninsula, so I wanted to record this. Yeah, so that's it. I'll probably get back on later and do my actual stats and talk a little bit about all the information I've been receiving from the nutritionist and my psychologist that's specific to preparing for the weight loss surgery. So 1 more month and hopefully I get an answer soon. Hello again. I wasn't able to finish recording yesterday about like all of the issues that we discussed during my appointment. So today is Wednesday, and yesterday I think I mentioned a few minutes ago that I received a copy of my psychological evaluation, and I also have some other forms of different things that I have been reviewing with the nutritionist, my surgeon, and my psychologist. So I just wanted, for those of you that are maybe in the same stage as I am or considering weight loss surgery, I wanted to read a little bit about what the request from my bariatric surgeon to my psychologist was, so that you know a little bit more about what it is that they're looking for. So what my therapist wrote was that my surgeon, Stephen Chang, was requesting a psychological evaluation prior to bariatric surgery. He is requesting the following information: general psychological evaluation, including mental status exam, psychosocial history, weight and dietary history, and Axis 1 and 2 diagnosis with specific attention to eating disorders, especially binging and purging, and the patient's capacity to understand the operation, the risks and the benefits, and the patient's ability to comply with post-operative diet, vitamin, and exercise recommendations and medical follow-up, and finally a summary impression and recommendations. So like I mentioned earlier, my psychologist has been working with me for over a year, so she had a lot of my history and my background. She knew about my medication. There were some things that she did need to ask specific to the weight loss surgery. She asked about my ability to stay consistent with the exercise plan that I was given by the nutritionist and the doctor during those appointments, which was to have strength training 2 to 3 times a week and aerobic exercise of 150 minutes or more per week. And and then they also asked about caffeine intake and whether or not that would be an issue. And yeah, it's so weird reading about myself, but it was very thorough, and I think I made a good decision to have my psychologist be the one to provide this report, because I wanted to be thorough, and I wanted to make sure that it was as complete as possible. So some of the other things that we've discussed have been my whey protein needs to be per serving. If it's going to be a meal, it should be about 250 calories with 25 to 30 grams of protein per scoop, and to add milk. Also, other recommendations was to start getting used to not eating or drinking together, not having any carbonated drinks, and not using any straws. Also, eat 3 to 5 times a day. Eat within 1 hour of waking up. have meals 4 hours apart, and snacks if delayed, and make sure to include protein. My doctor. So no fast food, no soda, no juices. Minimize the carbs. I used to love bread, rice, beans, all of those things. And I got copies of example of solid proteins, soft protein. If you guys are interested in that, let me know, and maybe I can go through the list. It actually has a little diagram that it shows how many grams of protein, grams, fat, and calories are in each. And I had to learn the new, they do the plate now instead of the little pyramid that we used to do before when I was in school. So this, I felt like my head was spinning when I left the nutritionist office, just because it's so much information that I had to try to comprehend. I also got, what I thought was really good, a list. It's a little chart of what supplements I will be needing up from surgery up to 3 months, and then from 3 to 6 months, and after 6 months. So what I thought was interesting, my nutritionist said that I won't need to take the iron unless one of my blood draws shows that I'm deficient in iron, but usually I don't know. She said that one is questionable, but the other ones I would have to get is, I don't know what keeps happening, but my camera situation, I need to learn how to do it, how to use it. So anyway, I was saying that what I will have to be taking is multivitamins, B12, calcium with vitamin D, fiber, and protein. The goal eventually will be to consume 60 to 70 grams per day for me. And it says for men is about 70 to 90 grams per day. And half of the protein at most could be from supplements. She also let me know that 1 ounce of protein equals 7 grams. I don't know, there was just so much information. Nutrition has obviously been something that I don't understand. I don't know, all the measuring and stuff. So anyway, also, let's see, I got a nice list of for soft diet. So start soft diet 2 weeks after the start soft diet 4 weeks after gastric bypass and for sleeves, and 2 weeks after gastric banding. So I got a list of like little rules, how to add vegetables, and then in the back it has a list of foods I should eat, foods to avoid, which are high in fat, sugar, tough or crunchy foods, starchy foods, and always avoid sugary drinks, carbonated drinks, alcohol, and straws. So I don't know if anyone's interested, I can go into more detail about this, but I'm sure there's a lot more videos out there that, people maybe that have already been through this process. Or I don't know, if you want me to do it, I have lots of information. My head was spinning. I noticed that I was nervous during this appointment. I don't know, nervous, excited, scared, everything. I look forward to hearing from everybody. Thanks a lot to the people that have subscribed to me and have encouraged me. I truly appreciate it. It is really helping me, and it really feels like a reality, like this is really happening. So I really appreciate everyone's support.